docks areas, kunaitwaje, Miritini, Mikindani, but it's still affecting regular folks and regular how they were doing. Moving it to Mombasa, moving it to Naivasha and the Nairobi parts, you didn't have to go and clear your goods in Mombasa. Trucks didn't have to drive all the way to Mombasa. Trucks will pick up from Naivasha and Nairobi and distribute.
To make people understand the policies in such a way that they can interrogate, like what's happening. But all our media houses, because they're for-profit media houses, the focus is on highlights, is on our political rallies, it's on Nani alimtukana nani, and that's what people know as politics. And in fact, the people who come to win elections and watu wanajua kutukanana in rallies, people who know how to dance in funerals, and people who know how to create those highlight reels of alienda pali, akagawa chakula, ama akagawa pesa, and that's unfortunately why we are stuck with the kind of leadership that we have. Mika.
Ali, thank you for that. You did point out some very interesting things. And I'm glad that Stephen alisema let's look at the policies that are being put in place and the policies that are being worked. But then let's look at the policies that you're saying are being put in place. How many of those policies that the ruling regime is saying right now, and we can go by their manifesto and their 100-day manifesto they gave to us, how many of those things have been enacted into law, apart from ile hustler fund? Nini ingine wamefanya wakaweka. We have a country that is deciding they would rather pay churches kwa wanaomba and then come and complain to us that you're broke. An over-bloated government, tumongeza 50 cabinet secretaries, right? It'd be 50.
CAS.
Yes. So wali change tu jina, but sinibado cabinet secretaries.
They're the equivalent of assistant ministers.
Yes.
Yeah, they're glorified CSs.
Yes. So how many? 50? 50 for how many ministries?
For less than 21 ministries.
Okay. Another thing and then parastatal data to see engage your parastatal heads, right? All of them that have been appointed who have been new. Basically, it's like everybody in government who was holding an office that was fireable was fired and new people were employed. Even in America, when government changes, they don't fire just everybody. There are key positions that you put of the people that you want. But the backbone of the people who run, who know the day-to-day working, that ministry are always going to stay there. So these policies, how you expect them to be implemented when somebody is coming in new and trying to work. Now, your story at dry port, Ali, you come from Mombasa. You know the traffic that happens docks when it's time to unload the ship, and it's trailers in a pita. It's always chaotic. The tripod, what it did was, the way Mombasa is designed and the way where Kilindini Harbour is, there's only one road to that port. And that is the same road that passes through in the middle of downtown Mombasa. It was causing conjunctions. They tried and moved the dry docks areas, Miritini, Mikindani, but it was still affecting regular folks and regular how they were doing. Moving it to Mombasa, moving it to Naivasha and the Nairobi parts, you didn't have to go and clear your goods in Mombasa. Trucks didn't have to drive all the way to Mombasa. Trucks will pick up from Naivasha and Nairobi and distribute. Basically, we were saving our resources. Our roads were lasting longer. The SGR, which we need to pay for, was finding a way to pay for itself. So if this was a working policy, why are you coming again and then wanting to remove this working policy to implement you as in the name of policy? Some of the things that you call policies instead of politics in Kenya are actually just politics being disguised as policy. So that when I was president, I did A, B, C, D. When I was the MP, I did A, B, C, D. It's high time that Kenyans should stop depending on social media activism. Tumezoea, if we don't like something, we complain online. If the government feels shame on me, what a change it to. But in reality, they just do face cover to hide for us. It's high time where people should ask your MPs questions. All these things, everything that is implemented in that country is discussed in parliament. Do you guys even see the sessions of parliament? The only sessions of parliament aired on TV is when it's something controversial. That's when you will see it on TV, watu wakiongea. MPs walitukanana, MP aliambia huyu hivi, right? Huyu alislap huyu. That's the thing you'll see. You'll never see people discussing a session of the parliament. During Moi, we had leo katika bunge, and they will explain everything that has been said in the bunge. We don't have that thing anymore. Our politicians are on TV politicking every day. Watu wana campaign. Elections ilisha juzi. Less than a year. Watu already are campaigning for next year, for the next election. We are not going to see any changes that we're expecting to see. So, it's either people exercise their right in the constitution, which means you can recall your elected leaders. I'm sure most Kenyans don't even know they can do that. Instead of trying to say that, let's just sit and wait. What are we sitting and waiting to see? The economy tanking? Let me ask you a simple question. How many guys have checked how much are the shares of Safaricom? The biggest telecommunicator in the country. How much is their shares?
No, the stock market, I haven't checked Safaricom in particular, but stocks have been going down. They've been
Safaricom
going down.
is going for 17 shillings. Today, it closed at 17 shillings per share.
Normally, how much is it? On average?
Or like how much was it at its high?
I know it was a significant drop. There are actually two shareholders who are dropping their shares. Hold up. I had this.
Should I buy it now? Buy the dip?
I'll come back to this.
So Tabitha Njeri anasema Safaricom shares have lost most of their value, about 70%.
Can I read the teacher's comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I think it's really, really funny. Is this what we are mandamanning about? I think that's a really good question. A really interesting word. Kenya has a lot of work to go. Ata EA Union doesn't trust us. I mean, we are very not untrustworthy to the East African community.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, I'm just saying that. I just wanted to read the mandamanning.
Yeah,
I thought it was very funny.
Yeah, and then there's some other comments there that came before.
Okay. No, that the one before that was you and your jacket.
Okay. Maybe I just wanted to hear about my jacket.
Tabitha, get out of here. Tabitha says some Safaricom shares. Of course, she talks about the billions for offices of spouses. I can't even begin to think about that.
Yeah.
Tabitha says, Safaricom shares have lost most of their value, about 7% or more. I believe that is horrible. Campaigning in Kenya never ends. It's a never-ending cycle. I would like to read Pablo's comments on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because we have YouTube Live, and we want to make sure that we also read those comments.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm going to read all of his comments. Let's face it, leadership on Africa is about selfish interest. During campaigns, there will be a lot of promises, but then when in power, politicians will make a U-turn on the campaign promises. People in the diaspora will always seek to offer solutions to the political scene in Kenya, yet they are not that much involved. They wait to read opinions from social media and then act on those. Interesting. Let's also face it, Kenya has been a mess for quite some time, and it will take equally a long time to fix some issues, regardless of who is the president. You know what? I do agree with that point, by the way. I'm all for protests and picketing, but that should be informed by something. Taking the example of Kenya, I'm still trying to understand what Honorable Raila is protesting. Things were bad under President Uhuru. Kenya needs good legislation that will facilitate good governance and accountability, so that when someone takes over as president, they can still be kept in check.